All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another Gamers DMZ. Also, happy Cinco de Mayo. Today is May 5th, 2025. It is me, Jazzy Moto, and I'm also joined by OG Double M,
Hello, hello.
and then followed by Sir Rich.
Hey, you.
And then finally, we have our host, the one.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining. And first and foremost, do y'all hear me well
Yeah, we
enough?
can hear you.
Okay. Okay.
You're
I don't want to
perfect.
be talking all the time, and then you guys say, "Oh, I don't hear you," and then I, oh crap.
It's actually good.
So,
Even when you
yeah,
lean back, I can still hear you clearly.
yeah. No, I got it going through my Xbox mic this time. Well, thank you guys for joining us again this week to hear us talk about gaming. It's going to be a very interesting show tonight, I predict, because there are a lot of things going on in the world of gaming. People are complaining like the world is about to end, and to some extent, don't realize, or to some extent, people do not realize gaming is a almost in a sense. I'm not going to say a luxury. It could be a luxury to some, a necessity to others. It's an escape, but you don't need it to survive in life. So, with that being said, let's kick it off because we're going to have a good show. Like I said, Jazzy is busy studying. She got to put a paper in this week. So we got to make sure we're expedient in the process of getting our thoughts up. And with that said, OG, what have you been playing?
Expedition 33. Claire Obscure Expedition 33.
That's a long title.
Yeah. That and Oblivion, the remaster, which is beautiful. Those two games I've been playing.
Okay. Anything else? I doubt because you have a one-track mind. You're not gonna let yourself play two or three or more games at one time. So I
Nah,
know
you
you're
know
not.
I
I know you're not. Just ain't worry about that. I know you. Okay. Search. What have you been playing?
Um, I turned on 7 Days to Die to see
Yes.
what I was doing in there, seeing where my people was. Double Dragon
You played.
Gaiden.
You played Chicken Hunter, whatever that game is.
What?
Chicken Hunter.
Chicken Hunter. PUBG.
Chicken dinner, whatever the game is. Chicken
PUBG. PUBG.
PUBG.
I was like
Chicken Hunt,
chicken. The
not
only
Chicken
thing
Hut.
that I played with chicken is because I haven't played Zelda and I haven't played Minecraft.
Okay.
PUBG.
I'll say you've been hunting chickens.
I've been trying to get a good dinner. That's what I've been trying to do.
So that's hunting chicken. So you trying to get a chicken dinner?
Chicken dinner.
Oh,
I
you
want that
getting a
good
chicken?
one,
It's,
that class
it's,
A
oh
cordon
Lord,
bleu.
no.
You know it's cheap chicken Monday.
Yeah,
I ain't
you
go.
Oh
go to
I
man,
good. It's,
I think I'm
next
gonna go
week.
to regular chicken Tuesday. I just pay the
Tasty
extra
Chicken
$2.
Tuesdays.
I just pay the extra $2.
Okay.
And of course, because y'all all well, I don't know about Jazzy Mother, but all y'all was talking about how good Oblivion was. I was like, let me give it a legit chance. So I turned it on. I got that
You
video
turned it
coming
back
out.
off.
Oh, I think I just need to turn the difficulty up because it's like I'm just running through everything. It's like everything is made of paper. And I'm like, this is
Yeah.
ridiculous. It's got to be harder than this.
Skyrim.
Well, it's the beginning, so I'm like
I'm
trying
just
to give
saying
it at least getting out
similarities.
the tutorial area, which I think would these kind of games take 6 to 10 hours just to get out tutorial mode.
Yes, it does. You
Because these
get
games
used
is
to
like
this.
100+ hour games.
Yeah, that's the truth.
That is so true about that game.
So I'm gonna give it a
Yeah.
chance. I'm gonna give it a chance. I only played it for like an hour and a half, so I still got a ways to go. And I don't count the character creator, so I only played for like an hour really.
Okay.
So I got 9 more hours to give it a chance. Of course I've been playing the mess out of the first Berserker. That's my Jimmy Jam right now. Definitely am enjoying that. Turned on Monster Hunter, got up to like level 30 something. and turn it back off. Bought Tetris Effect Connected. Really am enjoying that with the effects and the music, especially the way it goes with the beat and how you playing. And the better you do, the bit more fancy the mixture gets and the effects on the screen. It's a pretty cool incentive for playing well and making Tetrises and combos and playing more strategically with the Tetris.
Okay.
And it's also it's like when you get certain, it randomly changes the speed on you, which is kind of throws you off, but it's a decent challenge because all these years of just playing Tetris, slowly getting faster. It's just they throw that speed at you. It's like you be on like 5, and then they'll throw you to 10 real quick, like double the speed. It's like, okay, you got to get your mind adjusted. It's interesting. I almost want to stream that, but it feels like I don't know if it'd be interesting, but I just kind of want to stream it because it's like cool observation type thing. And I beat the story mode on Space Marine
Oh, did you?
2 Warhammer. Yeah, I beat the story mode on that.
Good for you.
Definitely. I've been trying to get on these story modes and I beat South of Midnight. I don't know if that was last time or this time, but
I
that's
didn't know you
done
beat
now.
that. I know you say you played it. I know you
Oh, I
did
beat
beat
it.
that.
I just released the final video on my YouTube today. It
Okay.
premiered today. So
Man, I can't watch that.
others can.
You
Others
can
can.
watch
You can watch
mine.
hers.
Mine's
'Cause
part 2.
she in the pig farm. Where she at?
Yeah, that just released today on YouTube. It won. But it's up there.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I almost turned on Origins, but I was about to say that, but I didn't, and I almost turned on the finals. I didn't do that. So, and I played Dune Spice Wars. I was going through all the Leaving Soon Game Pass games real quick. So
Yeah, there are a
look at
bunch of
Leaving
good
Soon,
games leaving.
and I
Right.
played all those. So that's it.
I was gonna go in and play what is the Skinner, whatever that game's called. I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna do this. That's the game I'm gonna let slip. It's too much work. And it
Same with
is. I'm
Doom.
like, yeah.
I started it and I was like, this is a okay RTS. I could see me
Right,
playing it, but
but I
I'm
don't
gonna
want
move
you to
on to
make me
something
do a lot
else.
of work. I told you some games I don't mind doing the work, but don't make me do work just to do work.
Yeah, make it a challenge or something interesting. Like make it a reason why I'm doing this.
Jazz, what about you?
I'm gonna save the one I've been playing the most for the last. I've been played some Warhammer with Sir Rich and our buddy Della Vega. A little bit of Monster Hunter, not as much as I would like to, cause
I know the game you've been playing a lot.
I'm gonna get to it.
Okay.
I got some Chronicles and Relations and look.
I don't know if I'ma like it.
I also played Tetris Effect, the music one, because I heard Sir Rich playing. I was like, oh, what's that? That game is fun, especially at late night. You got all your lights turned out, maybe like a neon light here and there. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is a relaxing game too. At some point,
very much so. Shoot, yeah, South of Midnight we were talking about. My part 2's up there. I still gotta stream it again for my third one, but I'm really liking the game. I don't know what people like. I don't know what their problem is. Y'all need
they ain't
to
play it.
Yeah, give stuff a chance before you just complain just because of who made it. Like, give it a chance.
Oh no, it's not who made it; it's who's in it too. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
And what it's about.
Yeah.
The underlining story.
Yeah. But I'm enjoying the mess out of it. Like, shoot, Sir Rich's mom, she enjoys it. She's like, oh, I can't wait
for this. Yeah, she watching it on YouTube. She like, when the next part coming out? She been watching it like, I can't wait till she find her mom.
She's
invested. Her mom.
Shoot. A little bit of Oblivion. I really didn't get into it. Like, I sat there for like maybe half hour. I was like, you know what? I'm already invested in a life-sucking game. Let me just stick to that. So, I'm gonna get to it. It's still installed. Don't worry. Because I love me some ESO, all that.
You and Surge love that ESO.
Yep. I love the Oblivion series.
That's how it makes me feel, though.
Of course, we played our chicken chasing game, PUBG. I think our first or second game, we got a chicken dinner, so I'm happy about that. Go team. And a little bit of Children of Morta. We did a local co-op. That was not bad. Kind of reminded me of Gauntlet. but it was kind of like cartoony 8-bit. It was cool.
Okay.
Dark Souls 2, because I feel like, I know I can do better, so back into that again. Street Fighter 6 for a hot minute. Then everybody, we switched games. And the game I've been playing the most, and
Here it comes.
am
Here it
proud to
comes.
say that I have completed as my male character for a specific reason, is Cyberpunk.
Oh yes, yes.
So my Twitch community is also involved with the story because of one of my love interests. And I'm just glad I'm not the only one. It's so funny. I got Chronicles. Check out my YouTube shorts, but damn it, Cyberpunk got me. So I'm gonna
Okay.
go ahead and play through that. Eventually get the DLC. But yeah, Sir Rich is teasing me because it took me so long to play.
And she beat me to
Well, I
beating it.
still
She
got
just
it,
flew
and I
through it.
haven't beat it yet, and I still got to do it. OG beat it.
What's that other game you like? The Tokyo something Cyberware or whatever. If you play that, you'll love Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Ghostwire Tokyo. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Ghostwire too.
I beat
Yeah.
Ghostwire. Yeah.
Play Cyberpunk. Mark, I can't talk to you
No,
about
I got
Cyberpunk here.
I got to. I am in Cyberpunk, and I
Yeah.
was up there, but I just didn't. For some strange reason, I stopped, and then they put that patch out. Then they said you should start over, and I'm like, do I really want to start over?
Yeah,
You
And then
I'm
it,
gonna have to start over because my dumb self. I was playing offline last night, accidentally saved over my female V. So now I
oh
gotta
my,
start over again. But you know what? That's fine. I want to see what happens as many ways possible. So yeah.
okay. What else? Anything else? That was it.
Yeah. Oh, that's it.
Okay. Let me see. I've been playing Call of Duty. I played Oblivion, and the thing about Oblivion, and Oblivion is life sucking because I think I've gotten over at least 10 hours in that game, or maybe 10 to 15 hours, and I just finished the School of Mages, and then I got peed off because there's a glitch in the game where you were doing a quest, and I saved. The good thing about the game is that it does save a lot, but it said I stole something and they put me in jail, or they were going to put me in jail. So I fought everybody. I said,
Ooh.
no, there's something wrong. So then I tried to start over. Then I know what quest does it all the time. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that quest. So I'm going to wait. I'm going to come back to it because I kept starting over and that sent me back a good minute. Then I kept going back to Elden Ring. That game is sucking life out of me. But I have more fun in Elden Ring going to help people with quests or bosses. And I was helping a guy yesterday from Great Britain, and he was like, I helped him with 4 or 5 bosses, which was fun.
Nice.
I helped the guy Saturday night with bosses. Then I helped this other kid with bosses, and he finally beat the game. Then before I signed on today to just form, um, what is that, foul chicken feet or whatever that is, or foul pickle feet, whatever it's called. I was forming those, and I played it with a guy who wanted to fight the dual skin brothers, whatever. So we did that,
I
and
hate
I
that
was
fight.
yeah. So I helped him, but he won first time because I was helping him, and it only focused on him. I was like, cool, don't focus on me. I hit you while you don't focus on me. I don't even think I hit more than once.
Look over there.
Exactly. So those are the games I've been playing, but it's okay. Good thing, good thing, good thing. But like you said, I'm waiting for the, what is it, Shadow of the Erd Tree to go on sale
Mm-hmm.
because I'll buy it. I'm not buying it at $39. I'm being cheap. And then I went on a shopping spree last week because they had the sale, and I bought uh, the Star Wars game, Outlaws. I spent $100 on games, which we're going to get into about games overall. But having Game Pass and doing a monthly subscription, I didn't have a problem spending $100 on games with that big sale because It was a lot of games on sale. And I think I got Resident 2, 3, 4, and 8.
Nice.
I bought all of them, but I already had 8. I bought that last year. I got to get to it. That's the only problem I have is that a lot of these games I have to dedicate my time to it. But anyway, those are the games I've been playing. And speaking of Elden Ring, even though I've been spending a lot of time in Elden Ring, guess who on my friends list has spent more time in Elden Ring than anybody I know?
Who?
You ever heard when you say, "Who your feet too big to fit on the branch"? Did anybody ever tell you that?
No.
Only owls say who your feet too big to fit on the branch because owls sit on the branch, right? So guess who it is?
Right.
It's Jazimoto.
How many
She
hours?
Jazimoto. So, ain't no hours, it's days.
How many months did I make? No.
I think I'm not. I think you got 24 days in that game. I'm like, couldn't be here.
Wow.
I'm like,
That's how
how?
Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
That's how
I'm like, how did Jazzy
I'm
have
invested.
all? You are
That's how
like
you find the secret stuff.
all
Like, ooh, that's a
of
cave.
all the people on my friends list. I was like, shocked.
I
I'm
will
like,
take that crown.
you, you were number one, and I think Surge was. I was in the top 5. I think Surge was right above me, and then it was 2 or 3 other people. But Surge was there, you were there, and then it was me. It was top 5 or whatever. But you were number one, and I just bust out laughing.
He played the mess out that game. I told you.
Oh gosh.
I was just catching up.
So, let's get through this gaming. So we did what we were playing. We played that. So let's pick a couple of these topics out that we were playing. Um, let's pick double topic first. Double, did you send this topic in about Dragon Age where it says sad end,
Look at
but
the
my
screen real
opinion,
quick. I'm sorry.
Mm.
the which screen?
The podcast.
YouTube.
Uh, I got to get to it. I'm not looking at it.
Mm.
Okay. I have to turn it off.
I took that after I beat that boss before the
Oh,
boss.
that's good. That was he was Elden Lord.
Okay, I'm
Elden
sorry.
Lord. All right. You get all kudos for that.
Funny.
Mm. Okay, let's see where we were. Yeah, OG, your topic. It was a sad end, in my opinion. At least we got one. What Dragon Age developers and creators have said about the end of the series. So the series is ending, I guess, because it didn't meet sales expectations.
That's
What do
the
you think
only
about?
reason why.
Yeah,
Because it was still a good game. You're talking about where it went wrong.
I
The game was
think.
perfectly fine to me.
Yeah, I think also. I think a little bit. I think we need to bring games into perspective overall because there are only, if you look at Matt Piscatello or whoever shows all of those games that are being played, and the main games
Yeah,
being played is Call of Duty, Minecraft, Fortnite, and a couple other games. Those are the games that are going to be, it sucks the life out of you. And if these games, and we're going to get to Grand Theft Auto being delayed because I have a theory on that. But if these games are releasing in that holiday period, which I myself would never release a game like that in the holiday period because of the um, competition. You need a game like Dragon Age, in my opinion, to come in at a time when there's nothing else out and there's a lapsing gaming, so to speak. Because if you put it anywhere between September or even August, you got Madden coming out in August, you got um, Call of Duty coming out, you got a couple other games coming out, and people think Ghost of Yota gonna sell. Not if it releases around the time Call of Duty gonna come out. Mm-mm. It's gonna suck the living blood out of people. But the point I'm making is, I think, like you said, OG, is that EA had lofty expectations, and I think a lot of these companies are like, well, the game has to sell at least 5 million, but you got to advertise that game too. And did
Yep.
anybody see an advertisement on TV for games like that?
Nope, not really.
Nope.
I saw
Nope.
Shadow of War. I mean, I thought, no, I mean, I saw Assassin's Creed on a basketball game, the recent one. That's doing great. I think a lot of these people think YouTube marketing and things like that are going to sell your games. I'm still the type of person that looks at sports a lot on TV or other things on TV. I look at the Science Channel. Still, there's a great big market out there that looks at people that play video games that watch those channels. I'm a Science Channel. I'm a History Channel guy. Didn't see it there.
Okay, we lost you a little bit.
So I think that they are very cheap in trying to um, market the game, and they have these lofty expectations. But again, going back to what you said, it was also heavily, to an extent, demonized by people who tried to call the game woke, which is, if sometimes I think I can just strangle people because of them saying what woke is and trying to say woke is bad. So should you be woke when you're driving?
Right. Stop
No,
trying to redefine it.
we're right. I don't understand. Woke means you are paying attention. So you're telling me I shouldn't pay attention.
Your neural receptors are active.
Right. That's like,
So I don't.
not to get into
I'm not.
politics. People say liberal.
I'm not getting.
Like, isn't liberty good? Isn't that what we want? Okay.
You'll find. No, we don't want to get into politics, but that's where you find the biggest hypocrisy.
Yep.
You only fit the things fit your narrative. That's what you agree with because you just want to agree. Not if it's right or wrong. Something can be wrong, but as long as it fits your narrative, you're good with it. Not just being objective and having a clear thought and process, critical analytical thinking skills have gone out the door, so to speak. But what are your guys about that? Now, that being said as well, it may not have met sales expectations, but it's on the PS5 and in their PlayStation. What's that, PlayStation Plus? It's coming to Xbox. They're gonna get money out of that. In essence, they're going to make the money. It may not be the money you want to make, but you did make
Yeah.
money. It may not have been as
But you did
profitable as you wanted,
Be
but it
grateful.
didn't. Right.
Something's better than nothing.
no. What's gonna happen is that people are gonna discover this game years later and end up playing it.
True. So true.
That's what's gonna happen.
Well, I say the same thing about people would see people. I'm going to say something that's going to be kind of polarizing a little bit after about a certain game you guys are playing, but I could say the same thing about a game that everybody loves. You're further along in the game than me, okay? But in a certain game, you kill everybody off. So you're telling me I'm not going to survive, and all the heroes are certain heroes, but you kill me off in the very beginning, and then you put me in there just to show me, but you don't show me you show me as a kid, but then you don't even show me talking, and then you show me then the first act I die.
What game are you talking about?
It's Fable.
You know a game I'm talking about.
No, I don't.
OG, you know a game I'm talking about.
Oh, Jake, what game he talking about?
What game you talking about?
OG. Come through this TV and bop you upside your head. You know what game I'm talking about. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. There's a certain game. You show me, then you kill me. You show me as a kid. I barely have a line. You pat me on my head. Then you showed me going on a trip. I almost gave a key word out. Then I said, I'm glad I didn't say that. Then you showed me going to fight a battle. Then you showed me going to fight a battle when we go on this expedition. Then I die. Y'all figure it out. But anyway, my point
Okay.
I'm making is you set a narrative of who you want to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
I'm going somewhere where it irritates me where they talking about, and we're gonna get off of this topic because it's gonna set me off. Wokeism and inclusion and all this. And I love to see space movies. I mean, you can show every alien in the world and advance them, but let somebody of color show up in there. Why are they doing there? So you saying if the Earth explodes, this is
Only
what I
with
keep
massive
telling people.
makeup on.
If the Earth explodes, and when the Earth explodes in less than 2 billion years from being engulfed by the sun, in 2 billion years, if they ever get off this planet, do you think they're taking you with them? No, they're not. They're going to be only rich people who leave. Now, when you go into a space movie or anything, why is it so difficult to show everybody? Like nobody else is leaving. Nobody else is going to.
We like it here.
Don't,
I'm good.
you don't. But it's like
We
nobody
saw
else.
Elysium. We know what they
Oh
Yeah,
my god.
exactly.
You
But
know
anyway,
you can't go.
yeah, they're gonna leave you
We
right
have
here.
the perfect utopia. We live
Yeah.
for hundreds of years because we regenerate cells, but you can't have it. Y'all can't have that.
Mm-mm. It just kills me when people don't want anybody else in the game. That just boggles my mind. The world is
Or a game
eight,
based off of
almost.
something.
Yeah,
That's not.
but that's why I think the narrative with this game getting destroyed was that they said it was woke, which I didn't see it. It did deal with something
I haven't played it.
controversial,
I'm waiting for it
but it did deal
to
with
be
something
cheap.
Man,
controversial.
it was
But
like a hot.
it was a
What they
hot
call woke is
second.
just
It's
stupid.
just something. It's the stupidest thing, and I just don't get it because it was just something you talking about
Well,
a
when you
hot
look for
second.
something, you will find it.
And you that is very true.
So,
The thing is,
It wasn't
people
even.
like
It wasn't even 5 minutes
no,
of dialogue. It was so
no.
stupid.
but I don't know. I mean, it's the time of the wow. That's why I like to be authentic in what I do. Like anything, I want to be authentic because this wow factor, this clout monster is out here. Everybody follows the same narrative just because it's just
That's the norm.
what is it?
Okay,
What
we're gonna
MJ used to always say? He used to say something like I'm gonna say
we're gonna
like
tackle
dang.
two.
Go
He
ahead.
got a
Yeah,
little saying.
we're gonna tackle two topics at one time because this is Surge's topic, and it's both. They kind of relate in a sense. Well, I guess they don't, but they do.
They all
Not
do
even.
because they're gaming.
Yeah, but 8-bit no longer shipping to U.S. from China due to Trump tariffs.
Yeah, that hurt my
I'm
feelings.
glad I got mine.
I want to.
Yeah, he
I
said
have
that
to
hurt my
buy
feelings.
because I had to buy a new attachment so I can use my PS4 controller on my Switch. It broke, and I need a new one. I can't get it.
Oh dang, never mind. Now
It
I'm
hurt my
sad.
feelings.
I got my purple one right here. Hope nothing happened to it.
So
It's a
everything
good.
coming from China moving forward, until an agreement is made, is going to go up in price.
Definitely, them 8-bit controllers
So,
gonna be like $400 instead of 50.
well, you know what? Here's the funny thing: if this goes on too long, and they can find other places to send it, then they're just gonna not worry about us.
Yeah, they
So
just
like,
go. They just go find out the product they need to develop. That's all that's gonna happen.
walk up to Cuba.
They just go find what product they need to develop and where's the market share and move it on out.
What do you feel about
See,
that 8-bit, Toji?
uh, I feel bad, like Sir said, when you think about it.
Yeah, because they make good devices. Like those are the best third-party controllers I've ever used, or even attachments. Like being
It's
able to use whatever controller you want on a Switch with a USB. I can use Xbox, I can use PS4.
there's 145% tariff
Good, 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 good.
on them.
Like,
Yeah, that's freaking crazy.
hey, you're gonna
Um,
pay a couple hundred 300 for something that costs 50 bucks.
I could understand if we make things in America, but we don't.
And who follows that?
People ain't
Who follows
understand
that?
who
Well,
paid for
it
the
was that
tariff. They just thought,
wasn't there
yeah, punish
uh,
them.
wasn't there an agreement with the union where everybody was gonna make something, so it was a utopia. It was some bill, or I can't
But
remember what it's called.
that doesn't just happen overnight though. Like the time and effort to make factories and source resources and people, like it's
Well, it was outsourcing that did that. Capitalism killed that.
and they
Exactly.
talking about bringing it
When
back.
I told you guys this many moons ago, about 4 or 5 podcasts in the 70s. I remember reading this. One of your presidents, named Richard Nixon, gave China most favored nation. That was one of the biggest things that he did, and they did. And once you give them most favored nation in the United States, they get good deals and whatever to bring stuff to the United States. And that's when all that outsourcing of jobs, because you did this, because no one wants to go back and say, why, how did all this begin? Well, because of some group of people who wanted to go pro business first and say, hey, let's make things cheaper. How do you make it cheaper? Because we want to bring better profits. Well, you got to make it somewhere else. It's not, I'm not going to blame China for what they're doing. You blame us for what we did to ourselves. You can't blame them. They are not the ones who made these laws up to give them most favored nation.
Yeah, all these American companies checked out.
There you go, because they want to get things cheaper, and people. We don't, but just that is it. That is it.
Hmm. Why make it in America? We can make it over here for 5 cents.
If we make it America, we're gonna have to charge all this money and pay all these taxes. These taxes that goes into the schools and the roads and all that. I don't want to pay that. I want profit.
Hmm.
And that's where the profit monster comes in. There should be a limit on all this. Something. But then it comes to the point of if I earn it, I should keep it. And it's a bad hill. It's skating uphill. It is crazy.
Well, I just think that people need to understand how this stuff. You can't blame China for 100%. You can't blame, because what they always say. People always say, "Oh, we can blame China." No, you can't. Blame your own legislators in your country for doing all this. You
If you
can't
You
blame
know,
any.
if you give
I
anybody an inch, they're gonna take more than what you reckon them to take. You have
But
to
it's
have rules and
you know
you
what?
regulations.
You scratch my
I,
back, I scratch yours. Will you bring in your
Exactly.
products to my country? We'll give you a break. We bring products into your country. The problem was that there was so much of an inequity, or it was unequal with what people in China made in comparison to what people in the U.S. made.
Because of the
And
rules and regulations that
oh
China
yeah,
had over their people. Because they were way more lenient on mistreatment than the US.
and
So
labor charges are much cheaper.
exactly.
And people are in IT, which we all are. And people need to look at IT. We're doing all these developers and all this, and I work with a bunch of developers. And a bunch of developers I work with live in India. Live in India. So
Mm.
everyone's thinking It's about China, but all the jobs, they worried about jobs of people taking their jobs here. And people that look like you or anybody else talking about this other crap, DEI. We are not taking their jobs. You go, you know who's taking jobs away? Unfortunately, it's not taking jobs away. It's taking them from everyone in the United States because they don't want to pay U.S. level wages. That's the thing no one wants to talk about. They want to talk about something else. So we're getting away from the focus of game, and so I want to get back on targets and get me started.
But it's
I just want to
intermingling.
make
It's
note of
crazy.
this. In this article, it was saying some consumer electronics are exempt from the 145% tariffs for now. Video
That went
game
away.
consoles
That
aren't.
went away. That
That's
went away.
because video
That
game
went away.
consoles.
That
That
went
went
away.
away. That went away as of like what, May 1st or May 3rd.
Yeah, that
It
went
was like
away.
But they're
800.
not
It's
considered,
800 or
considered
less, and then
toys.
that's been taken for close to a week now.
They're not considered toys. They're technology.
Well, it was a amount limit actually. It was 800 or less, and then that just went away. It was a limited exemption, and now all that stuff costs. That's why 8BitO decided to stop shipping
Exactly.
stuff, because that was in line with the 800 or less, so they could still ship stuff. And then when it was like, oh, time's up, no more. So the rules and regulations was on a limited time basis for certain products.
Mm-hmm.
So good old 8-bit is out the door. Maybe they'll go to 16-bit, huh? And it'll get
Hey,
cheaper.
if they
Huh?
go 16-bit, they'd be so epic. They start making sticks and driving sticks and arcade sticks. Yes, come on, 8BitO. Go
Chop, chop.
16-bit. I want 16-bit. I want larger controllers, better controllers.
So if they don't have it in the U.S. warehouse, it doesn't have the tariff on it. Is that what they're saying?
If it hasn't been
That's a
shipped
good.
in.
Yeah,
If
I
it's
think
here,
anything.
if
Yeah,
it's
If
here,
it's here
you're
already.
cool. But once we run out of that stockpile, then the tariffs is gonna really start to hit hard.
So we looking at around July.
No, sooner than that. I think it just ended. It's gonna really start getting, because think about it, like how much we have here. So maybe July. You might be right. Now that I think about it, yeah, that sounds right.
About July.
Unless they do something.
But he said they were knocking down the door to make deals with him.
You don't know what's going on. They can say whatever they want, but the truth is the truth. Prices are prices. I don't believe anything until the prices change.
And I have my limits.
So,
Right, exactly.
This.
I see how much the prices are. It doesn't matter what people talk about. It matters on how much it costs us, the consumer, and how much things are going to change when no one can afford anything. And that's a dangerous concoction to fool with.
I mean, we talked about this. Remember, Amazon wanted to list the tariffs on there. That's transparent for me.
yes, but they're not going to. They should have let people know. Oh well. Okay, so that's 8-bit. And what do you guys think about Polygon being sold? What do you think about that surge? That was your topic.
Polygon being sold, I think it's the ending of an era. All the magazine literature that has been online is changing into something that's, we're gonna have to see, because it's basically, I don't see any real news coming from, except for YouTubers and people like that, and even that is being
That's not
persuaded
news.
to.
That's opinionated articles. And
Well, I
that's
mean,
that they
like,
feel
some people
themselves.
do news. Some people do news on YouTube. Some people have opinion pieces, just like a newspaper. It's the same way. Like, you can find those who actually do the journalism. Like, they actually try and find a story behind it and don't really use their opinion. Or there may be a lack thereof. And that may be what we need instead of all these people giving their opinion. We need more journalism because there is no authenticity out here like that for gaming.
And it could be, just them merely mentioning the topic. And if I can tell they're going way off the deep end with their opinion, I can just take that topic and look up information on my own. Because that happens sometimes.
I miss the time of honest journalism.
Let
I
me
miss the times of
but
honest
there
journalism.
let's stop. Come on. You guys are talking about your perspective. And I agree with you in everything you are saying. Okay. I'm not debating what Jazamoto said. I'm not debating what Server said. But you have, and I'm sorry to be like this, you have a lot of ignorant people that walk on the face of this earth today.
Hmm.
And those ignorant people are the ones that you will read anything and believe that is the gospel.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're saying what you will go out and do your independent research, 89 and 90% of the others, I would go say 95% of those won't do it because they'll believe, because you can see the state of regular media today, where people will believe anything that certain people say because they said it, they think it's true.
Man, that's like
And,
people believing
and
AI pictures
That's
are
why I
real.
say
Like, you can,
well,
the
it's
amount of people I see who think stuff is real, I'm like,
so
are you freaking
it's
serious?
getting
It's
difficult, but I understand what you mean, like the blatantly obvious. But is it obvious because you are tech savvy, or is
you have a
it,
different head
you
on your
know,
shoulders than the rest of the people who don't care to look
so I can,
deeper.
my point is, and also the internet is so vast, let's say that, is that you can get
I know what you
sources of news from everywhere. So I can see
Hmm.
why it's going down, and everybody can think. And then you could see that even Polygon and all of them, they have become so slanted. See, one thing I think people, what is the rule of a journalist?
State
integrity and
facts.
honesty.
Well, you almost in that role, not as much as honest, but I do say honest. But here's where journalism fell off. If you are writing, you're writing the news. I didn't ask your opinion. They give their opinion in
Facts.
their writing. That is
Facts.
Give me the
not
facts.
Facts.
news. Just give me fact. That's where all this is falling down. They turn around and try to sway people. I don't need you to sway me. I need you to tell me X, Y, Z, and then let me be the judge based off the
What
true information that you gave me. And that's why a lot of them are losing. They lost a lot of people following them, and people don't care because guess what? I can get trash anywhere.
yeah.
And
And
so I don't have,
that's why I said maybe there's a vacuum for it.
that's
And
what
maybe
when you said,
there's
right, right. But it's like I said, it does have to do with integrity. But journalism has always been the heart of journalism. That's why I laugh at people when they say they're a
facts
video game
behind words.
journalist or journalists in general. No, if it's you're a journalist, you never put your opinion in your writing. That's the opinion piece.
Yes, you write a
You let
separate piece for that.
right. That
You
is
write a separate piece for that.
exactly. But you got everybody telling you something as news, but then they slant it and put it in their opinion. And then when once you do that, people I'm just saying, a lot of people are not that savvy to pick it up. They don't understand what pure journalism is. Pure
Mm-mm.
journalism is gone. There is no such thing as when you had the New York Times, they even started going
It's
opinion
gone
pieces.
in a
No,
traditional sense.
right.
I'll give you that.
That's
Definitely.
it. So if it happened to big media, what made people think it wasn't going to happen to games media? They were next. And this is just
Or
natural order of things.
YouTubers even because even had you how you said like everybody sways to the same opinion without playing anything.
Hmm.
That's a
I'm listening.
sickness. Is
Exactly.
crazy.
I listen to all these people talking, then we're going to get on the subject in a minute, but I'm listening to all these people. And I'm like, wow, where did you get your master's degree in business? Where do you understand economics from? Where do all these people, instead of complaining, understanding economics? No, they have an opinion. They don't go back and say, okay, this is why X is happening. This is why Y is happening as a result of this is happening because of X, Y, and Z.
Peppy in the chat.
Well, I could tell you this much: Polygon was pretty much the best one out there. At least the last of the best ones out there to me.
The only
Really?
ones
Were
that
they
didn't
objective?
placate. They didn't placate at all.
So they
They
were
were
objective.
very objective. Yes, very objective.
Because you saw and this is where journalists, I don't know if it happened a couple of weeks ago, but you remember Digital Foundry? And they're supposed to be all tech savvy.
Yep.
On their channel, they put that Switch commercial. Didn't say anything, nothing objective, just put Switch out there. Why would you do that? You knew people were going to watch that because there's Digital Foundry.
Because they get
But
paid.
guess who? But guess who? What is it? Guess who owns Digital Foundry now? The same people who own IGN. So it's all about money.
Mm.
And give them 5
Dang,
years.
that sucks. Digital
They're out
Foundry is
too.
owned by the same company as IGN. When did that
Yes, that happened last year or the early last year.
No wonder.
Early.
I was wondering why Digital Foundry felt different.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I don't think it was like a year ago. I think it was a little bit longer than that. But
No, it was January 2024, somewhere between January or December 2023, going into December
They
20.
got bought.
Yes,
that's crazy.
I'm
'cause I had
December
watched them
24
around
going
that
into
time.
December 25. I mean, yeah, 23 going into 24. This is 25, correct? That's when it happened, and they got bought. And I'm like, okay,
That's
they
crazy. I used to
can't
watch
be
the
objective.
mess out of Digital Foundry, and then I just stopped liking it.
Me too. So
That makes
Oh,
sense
you
now.
lying.
That makes sense now.
Zip
I didn't even
Davis,
know that, but that
yeah.
makes sense. That makes perfect sense. They lost their authenticity. They sold out in a
mhm.
sense. It's deeper when
They
you
owned
sell
by
out.
Zip
It's
Davis.
deeper than what you think. Like your authenticity is gone. It's a price that can't be taken back. Crazy.
Isn't Zip Davis owned by Sony also?
They give Sony. I mean, Sony gives Zip Davis a lot of money. Yes, they don't talk about that, but I guarantee you, Sony buys a lot of time for them or something because they all up in Sony, which makes me not even like them. But they got what they got, and I don't listen to Polygon anyways because I feel as though I can do my own critical analytical thinking and research. So I always research my own.
You need
And
to start
people
putting
don't
them up.
understand. This is
thoughts.
the thing about good when you were growing up in school. And I don't know if they teach this anymore, where they should. When you were in grade school and freshman in high school, and you had to write papers, and the teacher would be like, "Okay, you
Oh
wrote
my
this.
goodness.
Where your source? Show me the source so
Oh
I
my
can
goodness.
That's what
Oh
I
reference
was.
God.
it."
That's what I was
Yeah,
doing before
Stop.
this podcast, and I'm gonna finish
Yeah.
after.
I had this asinine teacher that just would not let me turn in anything unless it was perfect. She just
And
drilled me
but
on that.
that's not
Sources and
being
all that. It
taught,
was
right?
annoying.
Because you always have to quote a source. Because if you can't quote where it came from, that's really this truthfully that I can go back and justify it myself.
And check it.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's due diligence. You have to cite your source. Otherwise,
Either had a site source or if it's a public forum to have some kind of recording or a documentation in that forum. You
right.
need to have like a
But
source.
see, that's the point about this. Everyone can make crap up and then they believe it. That's my
Literally.
whole point. Literally. So Polygon got what they got. So anyway, let's go to this next subject. Oh, this is a subject that's going to be funny. Is Marathon doomed? Arc Raiders is already a much better extraction shooter, and I feel bad for Bungie developers.
I feel twisted about this because I've seen a lot of people trying to persuade my opinion. We're talking
What is
about
your
the Alpha
opinion? I
Quest
want to
test
hear
and
this.
all that, right?
I want to hear this.
Because it's like when I'm online and then I just say, "Hey, look at the player counts on the
No,
Alpha."
no. I'm talking about what is your general thought of Marathon? That's all I want to
I
know.
don't know because I haven't seen enough of it.
Okay, that's
Your
good.
general first impression is what?
Right.
My first
Give me
impression,
that.
it feels I don't know. I really don't know. It feels like foreign and weird at the same time. I don't know. Because it's like I don't know what to think about Marathon. Kind of like how I felt about Anthem. I wanted it to
I
be
can't say that.
cool. I
I can't
wanted
say
it to
that.
be
No,
cool.
man.
I wanted it to be cool, but when I saw it, it was no real meat to the bone. Like,
I tell you
okay, I
what
don't see
Anthem did.
nothing.
I tell you what
Anthem hurt
Anthem
me
did.
so
That's
bad.
it.
Anthem
Y'all put
had
that out of my head.
flying mechanics. Anthem had
I
That's
still
flying
light.
feel the
mechanics
pain.
beat.
I wish they'd
Oh,
be in the Iron Man. No.
I still
Okay.
feel the pain.
Okay. Okay, Jazzy, what was your thoughts when you saw Marathon?
Like I said, I had put that game out of my head.
Okay.
Well, I'm
Let
too
me
used
let
to
me
having my
let me
feelings
phrase
hurt.
it. Let me phrase the question. Let me rephrase the question. Did you, based off what you saw, I'm gonna rephrase it this way, and either it's a yes or no, because I want to make sure we have definitive answers. Based off what you saw, and that was the only thing you see until the game releases. Would that be a day one buy for you?
No.
Okay.
No.
OG, Surge,
No.
Surge.
What's the question?
Based off what you've seen, just off what you've seen thus far with Marathon, did it grab you, or do you think you'd buy it day one
I wouldn't buy
if it
it day
released
one.
next week?
I'd play a demo, but I would not buy it.
Okay, so that is my scare for Marathon, because Marathon, when I saw it, I'm sorry, it looked different, but it did nothing for me. Okay, being that like I played Destiny when Destiny first came out, the demo. Destiny was fun. When I bought Halo, the first Halo, when it first came out, I remember the day I brought it home. I was in Louisiana and I plugged it in and started playing. I'm like, oh my God, this game is fun. I don't see that in Marathon.
Mm-mm,
That's all I'm saying.
mm-mm.
It didn't grab me. It didn't push me out to say, ooh, let me look at
You know
additional.
what the recent game that did that to me, and I was 100% right.
What was that?
The first Berserker.
Okay.
Like I saw that and I was like, I don't care about what y'all say because y'all was talking about South to Midnight. And I was like, I want that first Berserker.
Yeah, but here's the thing, the gravity of this, and people are not realizing. If that game fails,
Bungie is gone.
Bungie is done.
Bungie gone.
Done. Because this game has to succeed for for them. Or they got to put out another Destiny within 3 months. But there's nothing. I just don't see how that game could come in and fight. And okay, when is that game supposed to come out? Does anyone know?
Let's
What,
see.
Marathon?
Yeah,
Or yeah, Peppy Marathon is the Xbox. Actually, is it coming out on everything?
yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah,
It's a
PlayStation,
PlayStation
because
game. Yeah,
PlayStation own Bungie. That's why.
right. But my scare is,
September 23rd, 2025.
oh, that
Now,
game's good. It's not
Peppy a
gonna have a
PlayStation
life.
fan. That's the
It's
only
not
reason why I
gonna
say
have a
that.
life because if that game comes out, it has to build momentum, and it doesn't have it. Then if Call of Duty come out in October and Battlefield comes out
Can you
this
pull a
year,
video of Jazz
you're
Marathon?
done.
We did Battlefield this year.
If we, I don't think Battle, but
He's
Battlefield looks
awesome.
good.
Battlefield,
Battlefield
you
looks
know,
good.
I play Battlefield.
I love Battlefield. Trust and
I only
believe.
want Battlefield back like how it was. Like they need to get back on the destruction because
Yes.
after playing the finals and everything destructive, y'all can do destruction. Y'all
Did you
just
see the latest?
hey, nope.
Oh, look at the latest on Battlefield. They brought that destruction back.
That's what they need. That's what they were known for. That's what they need.
I still remember when I played that first one. It was lovely. You could do this in a game?
So my point is, I don't know. And here's the kicker: they say the game's going to cost 40 something dollars. Who I won't spend $40 on a game. It would be really funny, and Sony wouldn't do it. But I think if Sony, what could Sony do to make that game a success? Oh, let me rephrase it. What could Sony do to give it a lot of eyes?
Only thing I can think of is just do what they do best, and that's
That's right.
advertise.
Nope,
Don't
ain't
nobody
happening.
market better than
Free
Ain't
Sony.
happening.
free play
Ain't happening.
weekend. Free
Nope,
play weekend.
nope. That ain't it either. That ain't happening. What
That
else?
should they should do
I'm gonna
that.
tell you what they can
Should.
do. I'm gonna tell you what they could do, and it would probably be a controversial, but the game will have a life. Put it in Game Pass.
They ain't gonna do
You
it.
put no, you that game needs player base and people to keep
Yeah.
constantly play the game and buy the skins or whatever. The only way that's gonna succeed if they put it in their PlayStation Plus and put it in Game Pass. That's the only way the game will succeed
Or
because
they
you'll
put it
have a
on Steam.
guaranteed and Steam. It's gonna go on Steam anyway. But you need constant players. You're competing with
Yeah,
Call of Duty. You can
that's an extraction. So you playing with all types of.
I mean, Game Pass saved Outriders. I mean,
there you go.
it's possible.
And if,
Possible.
and I'm
If
telling
they
you,
can
if
follow the Outriders formula,
all they need is 2 million people to play the game. If they got 1 million people on Game Pass to play it, they're set. They need numbers. Oh, you worried about multiplayer? This is a multiplayer game. You talking about engagement. Now, let's go back to say this. I don't think Microsoft's going to offer them any money to get on Game Pass, but it would be nice for Sony to do it, and that if they would make money off of it, and it'll be survival, but they're not going to do it. But we'll see. Anybody else have thoughts on that? Jazzy, any additional thoughts? Otherwise, if the game is successful, I will be highly shocked. I'll be very shocked.
and you know what? And I actually wanted to succeed.
Okay, I'm
Bungie
gonna wrap.
needs. I mean, Destiny was great. It'd be nice for them to have another hit. It would. It would. So
Yeah, it would. Okay, let's get to this one topic. Let's get to this one first. Then we're going to get to the Xbox revenue. Then we're going to get to the Grand Theft Auto. Okay. Epic Games wins major legal battle against Apple's App Store policies. What do you guys think that means for Xbox?
They were trying to get something on now.
Well, you remember, the whole thing was that uh, Fortnite couldn't be on Apple iOS unless they got the money for every sale they made. Epic was like, that's not fair. So the judge told them they could do something, and Apple even still won the lawsuit, cheated, and did them dirty again. So now the judge is like, nope, everyone can put stuff on your store, and they can have a link out for you to buy stuff. Because if you're in the App Store, you can't buy anything from a separate website. You can't link something outside that website. You guys know that, right? Everything has to stay within that ecosystem.
I don't know
they
nothing about
shady.
Apple.
That is
Apple shady.
very well. Google does the same thing. They're all shady because they want you to stay in the ecosystem. So that allows Microsoft to start selling their games straight in and say, "Hey, you can come to our site, and we don't have to pay Apple that 30%." That could be very advantageous because like games like Candy Crush and all these people that play mobile games, they don't have to share it with Apple anymore. They can say, "Okay, go to our link."
You know what they known for doing. That's why I don't have no iPhone. They put that unsafe, like this link is unsafe. when you go outside of their ecosystem.
Yeah, I'd noticed that. Like they'll try to scare you
Apple's shady with that.
on top of slowing down your OS so you upgrade. Remember that whole fiasco?
Oh, well, I'm telling you. Remember. I can tell you this. Remember they
Yeah.
used to say iOS used to be the greatest OS. It's horrible now. My latest, because I got the iPhone 16, the latest one. The last update, it screws up my thermostat system. It doesn't even pop up. The latest update screwed that up. Text message I was sending. Remember, you guys? I was telling you I was having problems sending you guys text messages back and forth, and then I would get text message at 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I know they didn't send this.
It's I'm gonna send this to him right
Yeah,
now.
keep that down, bro.
Yeah,
I sent that to you at 5 o'clock in the morning. What are you talking about?
I'm like, oh my god.
Like
So then my buddy's like, I'm having the same problem. People are saying that about iOS. I'm like, they have gotten really, really sloppy now.
That was Siri.
I was serious. I mean, sending text like yesterday was hard. Like right now, I'm trying to go into one of my
Sloppy
apps.
Siri.
It won't even open. It's sloppy. It's just horrible. But I think it'd be advantageous for them, and I like the fact that you can go outside of that ecosystem and sell, because now I can just um, should be able to buy your games in Game Pass or whatever of the Xbox app, buy them, and it takes you right to the Microsoft Store. Buy it and say, okay, it's in the system. Boom. Let Apple do what they want to do. They want to play stupid. Let them play stupid. And
Apple definitely know how to keep themselves in trouble, don't they?
they sure do. It's like they should learn from Microsoft. When you start screwing people, you get screwed. So we'll see over the next couple of months how this plays out. And let's get to this hot topic right here. Xbox revenue grew 5% in the first 3 months of 2025. Hardware revenue drops 6%, which was expected. Then I'm coupling this with the other things. Xbox games are going up in the fall, correct? To
Yeah.
$80, they say,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and everything is going up. Then why is it when Xbox did it, the whole world was set ablaze?
The same
Now,
thing. Same reason it always is. Go ahead.
Nintendo
I'm gonna let
announced
you
it. They was like,
finish.
well,
I'm gonna let
hold
you
on.
we're
finish.
gonna buy it. And then they bought it.
They Nintendo did it. It was barely anything being said, and they still ate it up.
Hateration.
They're like,
Now,
oh, it's
you
Nintendo though.
you tell me how Nintendo can sell a game that doesn't even compare to anything that an Xbox game looks like, and to fun to my, uh, in my opinion, they can sell a game for $80. Wouldn't be me. Now,
It's the
that being
fun
said,
factor, man.
the only thing I blame Microsoft for is they have the worst messaging in the world. You just got off a blockbuster quarter. Your stock is up 400 to $438 after your announcement last week. Then you got to come out and say, "Oh, we're going to raise game prices." Who is in charge of their marketing or their the what do you call it? The publicist. Who's their publicist? Because they are not controlling the messaging. Who would have thought to said this? I would not have said that yet. And I darn sure wouldn't have said we're going to raise the price. I said I would have said as a result of tariffs. Blame somebody else.
They say market share. They thought that was going.
It was the perfect opportunity to say we're not raising our prices. We standing firm. It's the perfect time.
Why would they do that when they can make more money?
I got a different way of looking at that for you guys, but you guys go right ahead and finish all that up. Go ahead. OG, what were you gonna say? I don't agree with them doing it now. I don't agree with them doing it now.
Yeah, I don't agree with them doing it now.
Right.
They need to be as much customers friendly as possible. This is the perfect time for them. It's just the perfect time.
And it's kind of juxtaposed to the position of Shadow releasing Oblivion for $50. Like, what was that about? Like, isn't that conflicting?
Kind of. But Oblivion was already contracted for X amount of dollars.
And they made best release it. Like they didn't really want to do it, but they was like, "Hey, go ahead and do that. It's a good move."
The game did well, and it did well.
It feels like Elder Scrolls Online to me. It feels exactly like that play scheme. Like, who is buttery?
Jazz, what are your thoughts about the game price raising, the Xbox price raising, and all of this? And but nobody wants to say it. It's all because of tariffs too.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way. Yeah, it's because of
Yeah,
tariffs, but
it's
with
Don't
companies,
they make their systems in America?
it's unfortunate, but like companies do talk to each other. I think I was talking to you about this, Sir Rich, but companies they talk.
They
They're
have
like, all
powwows.
right, I'm about to do this. Y'all okay with this? If this works, then y'all do this too. So I just imagine them sitting at the table with Nintendo. Nintendo's like, well, they have the most respect for us. They ain't gonna say nothing if we raise our prices or not as much. So we'll take the fall first, and then everyone afterwards fell in line.
Because
I got it.
PlayStation gonna do it. They
Okay, let me ask y'all to do something next time y'all play and beat a video game. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I want y'all to do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of this is amortized over the years, and they make different games and they're doing different things. But games were $49, then they went to $59. But then this generation they went to $69, correct? So they're for 8 years straight, let's say they were at least just 59, 49.99 and 59.99,
for the
right?
most part.
Okay.
And then they had like a
And
$10 upcharge or random
right, but it was $10 over 20
shenanigans.
years because they started off at 20, they started off at 49.99. Let's say when the Xbox first came out, let's go with in 20 years, right? Let's say that first Xbox came out 2000 and something. But nevertheless, let's just take a 20-year span. Or let's go less than that. Yeah. And the game was 49, then they went to 59. Or was it 59? No, they went to 59, 49.99 and 59.99, 69. So they went up $10, $10. Have you ever looked at the video game credits?
Sometimes.
Yeah,
Okay.
depending on how much I
but
enjoy
not
And
it.
hold on, hold on,
not
hold on.
intently.
Nope, nope. I just asked you if you looked at it. And it
Sometimes,
seems to go, okay. So it seems to go on forever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Some game, depending on what game
Yeah,
it
some
is,
game,
yes.
right? Let's just say
Triple
it
A,
goes on
yes.
forever. Yes,
Triple A, yes.
you
You can sit there for
you can
2
go fix a
hours.
cup, right? You can go fix a cup of tea. You can fix a cup of tea and come right back. They still playing credits,
Yeah,
right?
scrolling.
Right. Okay. Okay. Let's keep that in mind. So then, look at the whole development team. Maybe 75 to 100 people, right? Let's say the average developer makes $100,000 or let's say that's the low end, 100,000. And the game takes 4 years to 5 years to make, right? So then we look at the accounting team, but their cost is amortized. But just look at the developers. Let's say if you got 100 developers, I guess, working on one game, or let's be cheap and say 75. Let's just say 75 developers, and they make about $100,000 a year, right? How much is that? That's 7.5 million. Just move the zeros over, right? And you do that for a 4 year game, right? Or 4 years of development. That's 30 to 40 million dollars, correct? Add everybody else on, add everybody else, then you gotta add the marketing, then you gotta add this. So the playing game balloons up to 100 million. That's the low end. And if you're selling your game at 49 or 59 or 69, right? You got to recoup that money in X amount of time, correct? I'm asking a question.
Correct. Correct. Right.
How many games you have to sell to make your money back? A million games you got to sell to make about 69 million at $69, right? So explain to me where inflation doesn't come in because we always said we want our developers to get paid, right? And if these developers make the low end 100 grand, I'm giving low end because they make more than that. So are we not adjusting game prices with inflation or not? Or are there, is there some, and I'm not agreeing with them, but is there some truth to these game prices? These games are out of control for development. That's the question.
When a team of 40 make a game that everybody like, or a team
The,
of
the,
20 make a game.
but now I like how you went there, and I'm like, let's reel you back in a little bit. Reel you back in. A team of 40, and you guys know this too. A team of 40 developers at a small company are not going to make the same amount of money as a team of developers at a company like Microsoft. Their wages are going to be different. So when people say that,
Mhm.
let's keep things in perspective, then you got to pay the insurance. Then you got to pay the 401ks. So let's go down that route. So a bigger company has more expenses than that company. I love when somebody say, well, they made a game. It's not relevant because you got different, you can't look at everything the same way. Well, 40 people made that game. You are 100% right. But when you look at the wages and how things are done, it's different. They had a limited budget and they had to stay within because there's 40-person team.
Mhm.
And I guarantee you they weren't making the same amount of money as developers at Microsoft or any other big development company.
You have unlimited funds. Make a good game.
So I don't know, but I'm just trying to put people into perspective a little bit. And let me give you another. So we're complaining about games. So let's complain about real life. Let's see, my first BMW. You and OG, you know me, so you know the only thing I drive is such. But I paid, ordered it from BMW, and I know what I paid, and it was easily a 5 Series, easily over at that time. This was moons and moons ago, 60 something $1,000, easy. The car now is 100 grand with the same amount of accoutrements,
Kyle, you
options.
know that's ridiculous. You know
So
that's
that's my point.
that
If
was
you start,
ridiculous.
that's why I started this off. I said gaming is a luxury, it's not life. That's an option. You don't have to game every day. But when you look at real world necessities and how much that has went up, keep every now. What if games would have went up to double the price every 10 years or 20 years? I'm not for it. I'm not against it. I'm just trying to tell people, especially people in tech, you guys know what tech people make. Let's not get this twisted. You know, I'm gonna tell you his name. I don't want to say his name on here, but I'm not because you don't know his real. That is his real name. But you know who the little young character who used to game with us, OG. He was from Florida.
Hmm.
Okay, he's IT. He kicks over 200 grand a year. And he's told me that. And he works with software development.
Yeah, he killing it now.
Yes. So if he's making 200 grand to 220 a year doing what he doing, and I'm like, okay, you got to look at what everybody else make. I looked up, I was talking to a person I'm working on a project with, and do you know how much the average person at Google make? They were like 400,000 a year, three to
It's
400.
nuts.
But you also got to factor in the cost of living in California is ridiculous, especially in Silicon Valley. But all that is in perspective. That's all I'm saying when it comes to gaming. Gaming is a luxury. I'm not saying that they gotta uh that they had to raise the prices, but with these tariffs and all this, I don't know. And people are saying, well, they're cheating. And I just want people to finally understand one thing about a company. A company doesn't owe you a darn thing. They only owe their shareholders money. They don't owe you crap. If you don't buy it, you don't have to. So if you don't want to pay for a $60 game, a $70 game, an $80 game, don't buy it. And I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, but what I'm saying is a company gives you something, you bought it, that's a transaction. They don't owe you anything else. They don't owe you to make you, if the game is good, then they did their job for you, right or wrong. You may not want to pay it. I don't want to buy eggs for $6. I sure as heck don't want to, and especially when the eggs were $2, $3, because I buy organic eggs, but now they're $6 to $7. What am I gonna do? Am I gonna complain, OG?
You don't buy it, you just wait for it to sell.
Exactly. The eggs don't
That's
go
all
on
I'm
sale
doing.
because they'll spoil. But my point, that's my whole point. Speaking of which, like OG said, you don't buy it. And that being said, like I said at the beginning of this video of our podcast, I spent over $100 on Game Pass games. Then when they did that big sale, because I saved so much money in Game Pass. So spending $100, oh, that's nothing. And I'm gonna do it again when they have a good sale. I'm like, and I could subsidize it. That's the funny part. I can subsidize it because guess what? I do the Microsoft Reward. And speaking of which, all these Xbox gamers are freaking complaining about games going to PlayStation. Let them go to PlayStation. Let the PlayStation people pay $80. Let them subsidize that and make Game Pass at $19.99. Don't you see how that works? I don't have a problem with it. Let them subsidize us. Does anyone have a problem with it? I think it makes perfect sense. They pay 80, we pay 19 for 400 games a month. Sounds good to me. I'm not hating on them. I'm not jealous one bit. Subsidizing is good to me.
They can do what they want. Got Game
Now
Pass.
that's my point. Why are people on Game Pass mad because the game's going to PlayStation? I mean, I don't think it's sometimes the marketing and how Microsoft does things I don't agree with. But if it keeps Game Pass at $19.99 for another year or two, I'm good in the hood. Who has Game Pass would complain about that? When I'm getting like we were talking earlier, and you guys said it, but you didn't know you said it. Because of Game Pass, you have too many games to play. Am I right or wrong? Because Surge, you have to
Absolutely.
get back. So you have to get back to these games. But because of Game Pass, you have too much to play. Claire Expedition,
I didn't even touch
Oblivion.
that.
That's
You
my
good.
point. South of Midnight. I can't even get all these games done.
I had to crush that. I was like, oh, it's only like a 10, 12 hour game. Crush. Let's crush it.
Yeah, and I see. I need to do that, but I think I'm what you call it is my
Isn't Dark Ages next week?
Doom. Yeah, and I bought the expansion for that for $39. I bought that. That's what I bought too, during the $100 sale. Right. So please tell me, when are we going to have time to complain? You so busy, you don't have time to outside of your. When do you have time? We have real lives and careers. So please tell me, when do I have time to complain? Jazz, you in school and you are working, so you busy every day.
And I'm trying to stream and I'm trying to edit
Yeah.
videos.
So,
Multitask guy.
but the point I'm making is who has time to complain? I can't even finish a game. I mean, I can't finish a game because it's like I'm like, when is this going to end? I don't. I mean, so why would I complain?
Told you my part-time job is streaming, so I'm finding a way to get my game.
I ain't mad at you, but real quick, I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, no, not. I will say this 110%. I don't want game prices to go up, but
At
if
all.
you look at the big picture, I do understand it. I don't like it, but I understand it. Just like I didn't like the fact that the Xbox game was going to PlayStation, but I understand it from a financial perspective. Being a person who owns Microsoft stock, I'm like, yeah, make me more money for my stock. Yes, I agree with that. Go right ahead. I'm happy because I got Game Pass. Plus, I have over 130,000 rewards points. I'm not. I'm good.
Man, you
Anybody else
got
have
130 in
anything?
there?
I have
This is good.
130,000 in rewards points.
Man,
What does that translate to?
$130.
Okay, 130,000. Okay.
Yeah, it's 130,000 Microsoft rewards points, but
I'm
it's
saying for the
130.
people who don't know.
Oh, yeah, it's 130,000 Microsoft points. Yeah.
He said, "Ballin'. I got money. I can play games."
hmm I might like a lot of things, but I'm cheap. I don't mind being cheap. Mhm. Any day of the week. So let's get to this last topic. Who didn't see this coming? But I'm gonna tell you why it happened. Um, where is it? Oh my! It's GTS 6 has been delayed to 2026. And what are your thoughts on
Oh my goodness! Oh, he's suffering succotash.
that?
I'll live.
They always
Plenty
delay
on my
it.
plate.
I
Now,
don't know. Not one GTA that released on time. Not
exactly.
one.
That's only one. But
Keep that hype
I
going.
was feeling
here they gave you hints. When Borderlands said they were coming out in September, people should have put two and two together. Game not coming out. Borderlands is a Take Two game. Take Two wouldn't hurt themselves like EA would hurt themselves. So why would Take Two put out a game in September, knowing that as soon as GTA come out, that may hurt their game from making additional money during the Christmas period?
yeah, that's GTA though. I had little hope. I had a little hope.
And I
What
said it
kind of
wasn't
I
hope?
coming
wouldn't be
out, and you can go
surprised.
back on the podcast. I told you guys it wasn't coming out. I knew it wasn't coming out, and what I knew 100% it wasn't coming out as of 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I knew why it wasn't coming out. And there's a couple of reasons, but I want everybody else to get their opinion. Go ahead, Chaz. Jazz,
You said what?
go
No,
ahead.
I
What are your
thought.
thoughts?
No, I knew it was gonna be delayed again.
Okay,
I just knew.
Serge,
Doing
what
too
about you?
much.
I'm not surprised. Like I said, GTA they always delay it and they try and get
That's
a
one
sweet
reason,
spot.
right? Yeah.
They like to be like one of the few games out.
Well, let me tell y'all another reason why. It's almost like a tsunami because if you look at it, right, this fall was going to be, we got tariffs going on. And Nintendo raised all their prices, which is going to snuff it out. And it's going to be a lot of people focused on Nintendo games complaining about paying $80 for a game. Grand Theft Auto is definitely going to be $80. But they're going to be like, why should we be one of the first into that fray? Let everybody else normalize it and get used to paying $80. We can pause our game, wait, launch it in May when no games are going to be released, and we can get all the money then. And if $80 prices normalize, we won't hurt ourselves. We'll make ourselves go up. We'll make more money because guess what? If we launched in November or November, the inflationary impact of people's thoughts would, to my opinion, in my opinion, would have impacted Grand Theft Auto sales. And Take Two, if the rumor is correct, spent $2 billion developing that game. That is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if it's the great seller. That means they're expecting that game to make $6 billion. Easy.
This game gonna be out. I'll be in retirement. This game, hello, this game gonna be out, boy.
It's
Well, you
Talking
know
that
good
forever,
well.
man.
You only playing with your grandkids. Like, I only wait for this game.
That's how long it's gonna be. Yep.
Well, you know,
Retirement.
you know, Grand Theft Auto comes out in 2026. They're not going to have another one till 2036. So
There you go.
they are
If
going to
that.
have exactly because they're going to milk that thing to death.
Keep the
They're
hype.
like, story what? Here, buy more money. Get online. Play the
I'll be
game.
connected to Social Security.
There is no way.
Crazy.
I mean, that game. If the game, I just don't believe that game. If that game costs $2 billion, that's why if the game did, they're waiting. It makes no sense for them to launch that game because with the holiday coming up, and inflation, people don't have jobs, people getting laid off, people don't have all that discretionary income to spend.
Heck no. And the price of the game itself's gonna like, come on.
Exactly. And so that's why I said to me, they knew they were not going to release their game, especially with all these tariffs and all these games costing so much money. It has to normalize first.
You know we gotta hit you with that $100 price tag.
Exactly. But $2 billion for a game,
Nutty.
and that's
Nutty.
ridiculous.
Nutty.
They
Nutty.
ain't playing.
Nutty. Niggas like, we gonna make a VR. We got all that stuff in here.
So they,
When was the last game they made? Red Dead Redemption 2?
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. And they ain't put nowhere near as much money as to that as they continue
I don't care
to
how.
pour into Grand
I
Theft Auto
don't.
5.
I don't give a darn. But $2 billion, if that $1 billion to develop a game is ludicrous. And
How many
speaking as
spaceships is that?
too many, but being a person,
They ridiculous, man.
it is being a person, and maybe I'm prejudiced because being a person who's not buying the game and never been a Grand Theft, I just can't get into that game. Have at it.
You always got to bring that up. I do
Yeah.
not play them. I do not know.
I just said I'm saying it. I just can't. I can't. I have tried to play Grand Theft Auto, and I
You
just
already
can't
know
play it.
GTA 6 is gonna be very ratchet.
Yeah, I already know it's gonna be ratchet and
already
goofy
know.
and
Play
negative.
Cyberpunk.
He was like, I do not need to play a game that's ratchet. I decline.
It's the next best thing. Less coonery.
Oh my goodness.
We'll see, but I just think that was one of the reasons because $80 games kicking in, and I know people think, well, they can be arrogant and do it because it's them. It is them, but they can do it when nobody else was doing it. But when everybody else doing it, it sucks the life out of some of what you're doing. You get my point?
Hey,
Because
let me tell you.
there is only so much money available for people to spend. That's what people are not realizing. But go ahead, OG.
Hey, Mega Elixir didn't bat an eye when he bought Mario Kart World.
I mean, you bought it.
Boy. He bought what he owned.
Don't try to say that now.
I ain't lying.
He bought that.
He trying to cover it up. He called him quick on that lie. Called him quick on that lie.
OG. He was able to get a Switch too.
Oh yeah, you know his big cousin got that for him.
Oh, so y'all stayed up and got 2 or 3 up, and I told y'all to order me one. You bum.
No, he ended up getting one. They tried to get you one. They tried to.
Oh, I'm just joking.
Yeah, they tried to get you one.
Called you a bum.
I'm just joking.
I know it was
That boy
funny.
he didn't bet an eye for that
It was funny
game.
the way
yo.
you said it like a sitcom. Yeah, bum.
I know you were. You say he didn't bet an eye for it. He got it. Right, but
That's
see
a
that's
Nintendo fanatic.
right. And they all sold out. But again, you can. What Nintendo is making a mistake is because they are launching those games at that price, but that's going to put everybody else to launch those games. And Nintendo had it because they were always at a cheaper price than everybody else. Now it's okay to launch some games at that price that you think. But you can't have all your games launch at that price because it's going to suck the life out of everybody else's game.
Shoot.
We'll see.
Not only that, they're expected to sell what 30 million this year. Them Switch 2s.
But I keep telling people, Nintendo only has one life source, and that's video games. They have nothing else to rely on. Nothing. Now, unlike Sony, Sony has televisions, they have every electronics. Nintendo only has Nintendo. They don't sell games, they don't eat. They don't sell them consoles, they don't eat. And they're lucky they got those games off at this point in time and sold them when they did because of those tariffs. If the tariff situation is not resolved and the tariffs are even 20 to 30%, it's going to impact those, just like it impacted Microsoft. But Nintendo is a little bit going to be saved because the Nintendo Switch is not made in China, it's made in Vietnam.
Yeah, so that does help them out.
It helped them out a little bit. But anyway, those are our topics, ladies and gentlemen. So it's been a night. So we got to get our outros on. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about? Lady and gentlemen.
It's all good in the hood.
It's all good.
It's all good in the hood.
All right, so let's get our outros going. Serge, you go first, please.
Well, you can find me here with the crew, as well as you can find me on Twitter as Sir Rich. You can find me on Facebook as Sir Rich Gaming. You can find me on YouTube as well. I have a video actually premiering of my next portion of the first Berserker.
How long is it?
I think it's 2.5 hours.
Oh, we.
Mm-hmm.
You be at it.
Mm-hmm. I need to go into the last one and pull out
He
the
goes
boss
at it.
fights. The last one I did because that's something new I've been doing, pulling out the boss fights. I did that with Viper, and I think that's pretty cool to do. Yeah, that's it for me. Anybody else?
Okay. OG, where can we find you?
You can find me here every Monday when we have a show. You can always find me here every Monday.
Where else?
That's it.
Okay.
I'm really not getting around lately, you know,
No
like I
Blue
You haven't
was.
been on.
I haven't been on Blue Sky. I hit X79, then I don't even be on our Facebook page.
Oh my.
we just busy right now. We stay
I know
busy.
that. I know that feeling.
We stay busy. Yep.
Hey,
But you can find me here every Monday.
Okay. Well, let me go next because we'll let Jazz go last. You can find me here every Monday with the rest of the crew. You can find me trying to podcast, not podcast, but stream video game. And I was streaming, what's the game? I did a little streaming of Elden Ring too. Yeah. And Oblivion. And so I'll probably do that again on Friday. I got a long day tomorrow. I would try to do it then, but I got a long day tomorrow. And so I got that. And you can find me, like I said, the one doing that on Twitch too. And Jazzy, since you told me that, I'm gonna look more into that as well about the member, whatever that Twitch is. So I'll do that. But you can find me here with, like I said, with the rest of the crew. And I haven't been on my PS5 in a minute. but I'm gonna try to be on that this week as well. But that's where you can find me, ladies and gentlemen. So last but very not the least, Jazz, where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me
Study.
here.
That's where we can find you.
Yeah, it's like better be in them books. That's your question.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find me here when we have a podcast, which will be more frequently because I'm almost done with school.
Yeah.
It's my last week
Yeah.
and a half.
Okay.
So, hey, what up, Della Vega in the chat? I see you. But yeah, you can find me here. You can find me on X, kinda, sorta. I'm trying to make a transition to Blue Sky. Facebook, I'm gonna have some new stuff up, mainly clips. And Twitch, of course. Come check me out. I appreciate the support. And YouTube, I got a couple new videos up. My South of Midnight Part 2 premiered today. I got some Cyberpunk clips. Go show me some love.
It's on
All that good
YouTube.
stuff. It's on YouTube, yep.
All right, I'll watch it from my TV.
One's already at 1.4, and it was up since yesterday. Oh yeah, and not game related. I got another clip of me from 2021 playing a bass. It's like 30 seconds. So.
Bass guitar. Hot damn.
Yeah, I like things.
And I didn't say darn.
Hot diggity dog. Yeah, I'm playing a portion of the Spinners.
Oh wow.
So yeah.
Good for you.
But,
Okay. Anywhere else we can find you?
no. That's
All right.
That's it.
If that is it, then Serge, please take us out of here. Sir Rich.
Time to say hello.
Holla, 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 holla.
Holla, everybody.
Holla, holla, holla.